We know he requested a trade out of Cleveland. Well, he apparently requested a meeting with the owner of the Browns, Jimmy Haslam, to talk about the situation. Haslam reportedly turned down the idea and said, I'm not meeting with you. Now, Myles Garrett's camp is saying, hey, he's prepared to miss some games if he's not traded. The GM and the coach have been steadfast. We're not trading him. I just looked up Myles Garrett's last contract they signed. 4 years, $137 million. Yeah. He's got money in the bank. This is not some first-round pick who's sitting out. This is a guy with a lot of money who could just say,
I generally am not for players doing this.
I am.
But when a franchise is so perpetually poorly run, I'm not blaming the coach or the GM. I'm blaming ownership.
Ownership, yeah.
When they're, then I believe any employee in any state has a right to leave or break a contract if the organization does not live up to the standard you have delivered as a player.
At some point, the Browns have to answer Myles Garrett's questions, right? Myles Garrett, what are we doing at quarterback? What the hell's going on here? Why can't we win? We've got good players. They got a good roster. They were in the playoffs, I think, 2 years ago with Joe Flacco, right? Coming off the bench. Did that happen? Yeah. Oh. So it's like, I don't know, disappointing for Myles Garrett at the end. He's been amazing, and I hope he gets traded. Final story, Colin.
Yeah, this is a dynamic that needs, to be unpacked properly because, it's more nuanced than I think people give credit for, because like Ayuk, for instance, wanted to sit out. He wanted more money, or, we can use other examples. And it's like, when you're part of a team that is delivering, that is treating you well, that you're doing the other things right, like sitting out, causing all this trouble is kind of like, no, you're in the wrong now, right? Like you're working for this company, for this team, and they're fulfilling their obligation. You're fulfilling your obligation. Now you're just trying to change things for the sake of changing things. That's not the situation that Myles Garrett has with the Cleveland Browns. And for someone who's been such a good soldier, who's done everything he could, I mean, like, he's going out there playing for the team, and the Browns were trash this last season, and yet he's still going out there, putting his body on the line, doing everything he can. And he now even kind of like, even his trade request, he handled like as a man, smartly, didn't do it in a way that was an embarrassment for the Browns or whatnot. And now they're kind of rejecting it. And it's like, if they were actually building something and doing something better, then I could understand. But their whole plan of attack was Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston. Like, it's unbelievable. Did I say the right name, Jameis Winston? I don't even remember what I said. It's late night. But I just think that when you're in this situation, when you're having this mess of a team, Deshaun Watson was absolutely atrocious. Jameis Winston was all over the place. It's just one of those things where it's so frustrating if you're going to be a big time, impactful defensive player and just be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're not even close. We're just not. And, he wants to go somewhere where he can compete. And, we can say, oh, well, he got paid all this money. Yeah, he got paid all this money, but it was also under the understanding of like, hey, we're going to be building something. We're making moves. And now what moves are there for the Cleveland Browns to make? So this is definitely a frustrating situation for Myles Garrett. Like, on one side, I also understand it from the Cleveland Browns perspective as well. But the fact that he declined the meeting just goes to show you really kind of how she, because even if he wants to decline the request, that's fine in a weird way. But to decline the meeting, like, I'm not even going to meet with you. You can't even be a man. Your biggest employee, so to speak, one of the faces, if not the face of your franchise saying like, hey, I want to meet with you. And he's just like, no. It's like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? The reality is, as the owner, even if a practice squad player says, hey, can I meet with you? I see it as the owner's obligation. You are the owner of this team. Okay? If you can't be bothered to meet with these guys, then you shouldn't be the owner of the team. All right? This isn't, 1537 right now. Like it's kind of insane. And I really do firmly believe that if you're a practice squad guy and say, hey, you know what, I there's a lot going on, and I would like to have a meeting with the owner, please. Yeah. I'm not saying that you get like, a private jet to Paris to have them meet one-on-one, sipping coffee and a croissant. And I'm not saying that they're owed 2 hours, but it's like, yeah, okay. Like that's what when you own this team, there is an obligation. The obligation is not just to cut a check. It's not how this works. That's not how this works. So this whole I can't be bothered with this type of stuff is to me is just nonsense. Is insane, especially when it's someone at the level of Myles Garrett. And then it's just like, what is Myles Garrett going to do in that situation? He's like, you won't even meet with me, and now you expect me to suit up? And it's like, well, yeah, I pay you. That's what the money's for. And again, sometimes that is the appropriate response. It is. I made that argument when I thought A.J. Brown was getting, was being, more problematic than I would have liked him. And it's just like, well, that's what the money is for. You're like, you get paid to do this. You get paid to just to play winning football, not to put up numbers or this. Like, you get paid to say the right things at the mic, etc., etc. That's what the money's for. In this situation, we're now talking about the off season. This guy's like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm really unhappy. I'm really frustrated where things are going. Can I meet with you? And it's like, no. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. Name any of you guys who work a job where if you were unhappy or you were frustrated about a situation, you wanted to talk to your boss, the owner, whatever it is, and they said no. You really feel good about waking up the next morning and going into work? I don't think so. I think that would make your blood boil. I think you would be like, are you serious? You're not even going to meet with me? No, Chuck says he doesn't got time. You're just like, what? Bro, I come to work at 7 a.m. every single day in freezing cold, in the burning heat, installing garages, laying carpet, whatever. And I can't have a meeting with the owner. He's too busy for me. What's he doing? It's just, it's just the haves and the have-nots. This is a poverty franchise. I can't imagine any of the other top franchises around the NFL. I mentioned the Eagles before. I can't imagine if, again, let's use A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown wants a meeting with Jeffrey Lurie. I just can't imagine that Jeffrey Lurie is just like, no, and declines. Can't imagine that. Can't imagine that. I'm not even sure Jerry Jones would even do that at this point. It obviously depends on the player. If Micah Parsons was like, I want to have a meeting with Jerry. And Jerry Jones is crazy. I mean, who knows what that guy would do? I just, a story like this rubs me the wrong way. And again, I don't feel too bad because you're talking about some drama where they are getting paid literally hundreds of millions of dollars. So on one side of the coin, it is just part of the job. Like the ultimate contract agreement that you get in while playing in the NFL. It's like, we're going to pay you hundreds of millions of dollars, but things are going to be weird. You might be trapped in this city. We might randomly move you. We might bench you. We could do anything. We don't actually kind of owe you anything in this weird way. And the agreement is you're going to go along with this and we're going to pay you an insane amount of money. Do you agree to those terms? And it's like, yeah, sure. I have no other opportunity to make this money. It's like if you told me, hey man, for the next 5 years, dude, you could live in California, in sunny Los Angeles, and you could fall asleep and randomly say, hey bro, we're moving you to North Dakota. and and 1 minute you're going to be working in this beautiful facility, and the next minute it's going to be weird. It's going to be a little run down. It's going to get a little rough around the edges. You're not really going to like the people around you, blah blah. But I'm going to pay you $10 million a year, And it's just like, well, yeah, my other job that I could get is only going to pay me like $100,000. Best case scenario, I get paid like $75,000. Like, because that's the thing. The amount of money that these guys could get outside of the NFL, beyond if they didn't have their career, because now they can now make more money, but because of what the NFL gave them already. But if they were just coming out of college and they had to choose to enter this NFL agreement, it's like they have, best case scenario, they have a chance to make like, probably them, because they would maybe be able to work at like other college programs or something, a couple $100,000 or a couple $100 million. So with that is going to come some craziness. It's just to be expected. It's just to be expected. So it's just like it is a weird, tricky situation to be in. But I just feel as though in this specific situation where it's just like, this is what separates a well-run franchise from a poorly run franchise. And at the minimum, if you want to decline Myles Garrett's request, you want to be able to have a conversation with him and be like, listen, we're going to decline this, but we want you on board here. I hear you. I understand how upset you are. We are doing things. We can't talk about it because we can't risk leaks and this and that, but like, we are doing things right now. And like, we promise you it's absolutely going to be better. And again, however you want to handle that situation, but like, it should at least be a conversation. But again, at the end of the day, you've gotten paid a ton of money, and sometimes that's the way it goes. So, depending on my mood, you can look at it from so many different angles, but I definitely don't take the one side where it's just 100% on the owner or 100% on the player. Like it all depends on the situation, but at the end of the day, it is the machine of the NFL. And it's, again, you could either make $150,000 at a regular job, not even a regular job, because that's still a very high paying job, or you can get paid $150 million. And this is some of the nonsense you have to deal with. I'll take that any day of the week, man. I will take that any day of the week. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Cleveland Browns owner declining to meet with Myles Garrett? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.